All right. So we are gathered here today because it is June 30th, roughly the halfway point of the year. And so I want to rank all of the 2024 movies I've seen so far. Also, 250 exactly in 2024. So we're on pace for 500, which is pretty strong. It is kind of sicko behavior, isn't it? Let's see. I've been to the movies 71 times. I've and then to watch 55 different movies. Not all of them were this year. A lot of them were reruns like Oppenheimer, Dune, Far From Home, Lighthouse, X, Holdovers, Alien. But 41 2024 movies I've seen. Also, um, there's a couple that came out in 2023, but I didn't get to see them until 2024. So I'm going to talk about them too. Like Zone of Interest and All of Us Strangers, and where the fuck is it? I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. I know it's here. Am I blind? Oh, right here. American Fiction. Got it. So, first thing, anyone who's ever seen me do a tier list before knows that I hate these generic ass categories. So we gotta change the name. The S tier, they're the faves. Bottom tier, it's dog shit. Alright, we got Monkey Man. Honestly, Monkey Man is really good. I think I think it's one of my favorites. Also, just gonna put this out here that like if I put something in here, it doesn't necessarily mean I think it's a worse movie than my favorites. This is just like my personal taste on if I how much I liked it. I say that because All of Us Strangers is amazing, but I don't think it would be my favorite. This one's really sad. If you want a good sad movie, you can watch All of Us Strangers. Paul Mescal is only in sad movies, I'm convinced. Gladiator 2 is gonna be really sad. First Omen is the pleasant surprise of the year. I had no expectation, and then I wasn't even gonna see it, and then the reviews came out, and they were saying, "Hey, this is actually pretty good." And so I saw it, and it's pretty good. And I watched it in Discord. It's also pretty fucked up. If you want a good fucked up movie, First Omen is a good movie. Lisa Frankenstein, listen, listen. We're gonna. What does Lisa Frankenstein have on IMDb right now? 6.1 out of 47. I'm telling you right now, that is a crime. This movie is fun as hell. Everyone got this one wrong. All right, what did I give it? I think I gave it a 4. Yeah, I gave it a 4 and I rewatched it. Fun does not equal good. I agree. But this isn't even a bad movie. It's a quality movie. See, like that's more respectable. I trust the film folks on Letterboxd. 3.4, that's fine. That's like a 7 out of 10. But Lisa Frankenstein's one of my favorites. I don't care. Inside Out 2, I thought it was pretty solid. I don't know if I'll rewatch it. I'm not even that big of a fan of the original one. I think I think they're good movies, but I don't know. They don't hit for me the way some other ones do. Not up my alley the way some other Pixar movies are. I was excited for Drive Away Dolls, and I didn't like it. It was it was a very meh movie. Dune Part 2, I saw 4 times in theaters, which was a little bit of overkill, I will admit. But also, it wasn't my fault, alright? So I saw it opening night, I wanted to see it again, so I saw it again, and then I went to Colorado with some other friends, and they hadn't seen it yet, so we all went to go see it, and so that was the 3rd time, and then when I got back from that, my cousin texted me and was like, "Hey, have you seen Dune Part 2?" And I was like, "You're not gonna believe this." And then I went and saw it again with them anyway. And so yeah, Dune Part 2, we're gonna move this into the top slot there because Dune Part 2 is fantastic. Not just because of Zendaya, you know, not the only Zendaya movie that we're gonna talk about. And so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But saving the best for last. We'll see. Maybe I hated challengers. Who's to say? My YouTube audience doesn't know how I feel about challengers. I haven't talked about it on YouTube yet. Thelma was really fun. I saw that like last week. As Yeah, that's a fun movie. It's about an old woman who gets scammed out of $10,000 and then goes on like a revenge spree. And it's surprisingly touching. It's it's got a lot of heart and it's very funny. It doesn't always balance the comedy and the heart stuff as well as a kid, but I quite liked it. Thelma is a good movie. The Peasants. I want to see it. What did what did this make at the box office? I want to know. 10 million? That's actually pretty strong. That's more than I thought. I think that everyone should see The Peasants because it's quite possibly the most gorgeous movie I've ever seen. Look at this. This is insane. Just the idea of oil painting animation is unbelievable. It's like tens of thousands of oil paintings to make this. Crazy. Yeah, The Peasants is a good movie. Wasn't one of my favorites. The story was all right, but just like looking at it the whole time is unbelievable. The Fall Guy. That's a fun movie. Wasn't really bought in for the first chunk of it, but then they flipped the switch, and like the second half of the movie is like 10 out of 10. Um, I think it's a good movie. I Saw the TV Glow is the best horror movie of the year. It's one of the best movies of the year. It's honestly verging on masterpiece territory. This movie is amazing. It's a trans allegory and it works on a number of different levels. It is so powerful and so good. And one of the most unique movies you'll ever see. Kinds of Kindness, I saw it pretty recently. I saw this Wednesday. It's a 3-hour anthology movie with 3 different stories, and it's very weird, and I enjoyed it. I think it was pretty good. From the director of Poor Things and The Favorite and all those freaky ass movies. It wasn't right up my alley. I don't know if I'll rewatch it. Maybe at some point. It was a it was a good movie, but I don't think I'm gonna see it again. Book of Clarence was one of the first movies I watched this year. In fact, both of these were a couple of the first movies I watched. Um, I made a video on the Book of Clarence, and my conclusion was that it's fun until it like completely flips up its tone and gets really serious, and then it loses it. So I don't think I'm gonna rewatch it. I don't think it's terrible, but I think it's fine. Mean Girls is meh. The original's better. I made a video on this too. It's fine for what it is. Quiet Place Day One. I saw this yesterday, and I thought it was pretty good. The major issue I had with it was there wasn't really anything that I hadn't seen before in terms of the monsters and the scares. So I wasn't really bought into that part of it. the way I was in the first two movies, but I really liked the character work. I think it's a I think it's a good movie. I would watch it again. Out of Darkness was one of the first horror movies of the year, and it was meh. I made a video on that too. Zone of Interest. This is one of the another one of the 2023 movies that didn't come to theaters here until 2024. It is a very good movie, and I think it's one that everyone should see. Boy Kills World, Bill Skarsgård, action movie. It was pretty fun. It had its moments. The story of it was whatever. The action was fun. I think it's a. Uh, I won't rewatch it. Furiosa. I saw it twice in theaters. I think it's one of my favorites of the year. Chris Hemsworth's performance is fantastic. Anya Taylor-Joy is great. It's a good time. ISS is meh. Stop motion is also meh, I think. Problemista is one of the most unique comedies I've seen in a long time. I made a movie a movie. Yeah, I made a movie about No, I made a YouTube video about Problemista and Monkey Man. I think Problemista is a good movie. Oh man, we've got quite the lineup with these next four. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is a remake of a classic comedy that also wasn't good, which I'm all for remaking bad movies instead of good ones. But this one also was not my thing. I also don't think I was the intended audience of it. But I think it was meh. In a Violent Nature, some of the kills in it were unbelievable, but the rest of it was not good. This Bob Marley biopic is also not good. This one was a rough watch. This one, my mom really wanted to see with me, and so I went reluctantly. And I walked out of the theater and I looked at her and I said, God, I hate when I'm right. Not a good movie. Origin, the messaging of Origin and the theme and the central idea is really good. And it's based on a book. And I assume the book is just, the thesis it's trying to put forward. But Origin, the movie, decided to wrap that theme in like a biography or a biopic style about the author, and I don't think any of that worked. I think the theme of it was the only thing that worked. I don't. I think it's just meh. Civil War is a good movie. It's one of the more controversial movies. A lot of people had strong opinions on Civil War, but I think Civil War was very good. If we look, we go on my diary, and we see my lowest rated film is Madam Web is god awful. It's not it's not even the fun kind of bad like the Venom movies are. It's just bad. It's hard to watch. I don't want to think about it anymore. If is the John Krasinski directed Ryan Reynolds movie. I think it has some ideas. It's just not good. It's it doesn't know it doesn't have a great idea of the movie it's trying to be. I think it's just a meh. The Bike Riders, Goodfellas on bikes. Austin Butler can have my children. What? Anyways, that's a really fun movie. I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but I really like it. We're gonna put it in good movie now. Young Woman in the Sea is a biopic of forget her name, Trudy something. I feel bad, but she was the first woman to swim across the English Channel, and I thought it was a pleasant surprise. It's a good mom movie. You know, if you want to recommend a movie that your mom should see, tell her Young Woman in the Sea. Daisy Ridley's performance in it is stellar. I really liked her in it. It's a good movie. It's a pleasant time. Honestly, it almost made me cry. It almost got me. American Fiction is the last of the 2024 or 2023 movies that I didn't get to see in 2023, but I saw it in January, and this movie's really damn good. There's a reason why it was the Best Picture nominee. It's very funny. It has a lot of heart. It's a good time. Argyle is the most meh movie you will ever find. It's just the most mediocre movie. It has its moments. It has no soul. It has so many twists. It's dizzying. It's just. I have no strong feelings on Argyle either way. Also, a movie that I have zero strong feelings about is The Watchers. It's just like I was just I don't know. It's just 2 hours of my life that I would rather have back, honestly, because it made me feel nothing. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Last trilogy of Planet of the Apes was really good. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a new trilogy, which is a continuation of that trilogy. And I think it was a little long. Not a lot happened for most of it. I thought it was a fine movie, but I am excited for what it's set up with the following films. I probably won't rewatch it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. The Beekeeper is Jason Statham, weird as shit. It's not even that weird. It's just like it's a very Jason Statham movie. He's figured out his niche in Hollywood. He's found it, and it's making these goofy ass action movies. And so it was a fun time. I won't rewatch it, but I'm glad that I saw it. Tuesday's a weird movie. Um, wasn't really my thing. Probably won't rewatch it. Don't think it was terrible, but wasn't for me. Late Night with the Devil is a solid horror movie. It has some really, really good practical effects. And has a really good ending. It's pretty scary. I don't think I'll rewatch it, but I would recommend that people check it out. Love Lies Bleeding is a fun one. I don't think it stuck the landing. I saw it twice in theaters. I think it's a good movie. Yeah, we'll go with that. Abigail. If anyone knows me, they know that I was looking forward to Abigail from the instant it was announced. First saw the trailer, saw who directed it. I was so excited for Abigail. Made sure to see it in Dolby opening night, and I really liked it. It's not the best movie, but I just love I love this style of movie that Radio Silence employs. It's so fun. Abigail's one of my favorites. And now we have challengers. Dune, I saw 4 times just kind of by accident. You know, I meant to see it twice, and then the last 2 times just sort of happened. Challengers, I saw 5 times in theaters, and I saw it 5 times because I wanted to. This movie fucking rips. I love Challengers. It's my favorite movie of the year, for sure. The performances are amazing. The cinematography is so creative. The score is insane. I love it. It's so creative and so refreshing. has my whole heart. I don't know if it'll be dethroned this year. So, all right, here's my tier list. I made it. Um, I think this is sufficient. This is, yeah, good work, team.